Well, this is a first for Teams Insider podcast. We are recording a podcast live from at sea. We get into a conversation with the CEO of Virgin Voyages all around the kind of work from sea movement, what Virgin Voyages offer, and how it's quite possible to do Teams meetings from on a cruise these days. Many thanks to Michael at Mnemonics for setting this up, and stay tuned for a bit of a tour around the ship and a really interesting conversation about working from anywhere. On with the show. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Teams Insider podcast. This is a very special edition. We've got some live interactivity. Michael is on the move. We'll get more into that in a second. Michael, you know from Mnemonics, been on the show before. New guest for the first time is Namal. Namal, do you just want to give yourself an intro and a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll get into Virgin Voyages and the really interesting environment you manage?
Sure. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Michael, for having me. I'm Namal Savramutu. I'm the CEO of Virgin Voyages. I've worked for Richard Branson and the Virgin Group now for 19 years, doing a bunch of different things. Helped start Virgin America, which was our airline here in North America. Helped start a hotel company, Virgin Hotels. And about 12 years or so ago, Richard said he finally wanted to start a cruise line. And so helped author the original business plan, and then moved down to Florida to start the company about 10 years ago. And we're now 4 ships in the water with plenty of happy customers, including Michael, who's on one of our ships right now. That's not
Absolutely.
a fake background, I take it, Michael.
No, not a fake background. And if I turn it to the side and I just pull the curtain open a bit, you'll see that I got the water flowing behind me in the background, and I'm somewhere in the Caribbean. Or Caribbean, however you want to call it. My terrible
Michael,
South
you
African
actually need to
accent.
have like a newspaper or something, because it's amazing what you could do with AI nowadays. So people don't even know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get Michael to walk around the ship in a minute, so we'll get a live video tour, which will be really impressive.
The one thing I didn't show was the hammock on the balcony. Tom, they have hammocks on the balcony, so you can actually chill out with a laptop if you want to work on your hammock.
So if I see you not on video in a customer meeting, Michael, I know where you are. Awesome. So Mal, that's an amazing career history with the Virgin Group. Such an interesting organisation, obviously, and Richard Branson, amazing person to be working for. I feel like I could spend half an hour talking about your history, but I know we're quite limited on time. Let's focus on Virgin Voyages. Can you give us a bit more background about the ships and the routes you do and everything else? And then I want to get into kind of the interesting thing that Michael's doing, which is kind of working while on a cruise.
Yeah, no, great. So look, quick background on us. Richard always wanted to start a cruise line, and we saw an opportunity to create something a bit different in cruising. If you think about traditional cruise ships, they've tended to be very big experiences, very focused on families, not the great perception about the kind of food you get on board. And Richard really felt like we should create something that felt like more like a boutique hotel on the ocean. And so we got going about 10 years ago, and we designed the ships to feel like boutique hotels. So they're smaller than most cruise ships. They're about half the size of the biggest ships in the world. Every space is designed to be small and intimate. We have no kids on board, which is a very unique twist on cruising, because cruising has traditionally been about families. And so we have no kids on board. And what that allowed us to do was to create a much more elevated and sophisticated environment on board. We were able to do things like no buffets and no big dining halls. We only have nothing but small restaurants that operate like land-based restaurants done by Michelin-starred chefs. All of our food is made to order on board, so the quality is really high. We have entertainment that is the first entertainment we've ever created for a cruise ship that's been licensed to play in land-based theaters. We've got service that's unmistakably Virgin. But I think the biggest thing that we have is a very relaxed environment on board. Most cruise lines and most cruise ships typically are known for having formal nights and have a lot of stuffy formalities associated with them. And obviously, given Virgin and given our history with Richard, we felt like that wasn't the right thing to do. So there's no stuffy formalities on board our ships. And the last thing we do that I'm very proud of is that we don't nickel and dime anyone on our ships. So we include a lot more in our fares. So most cruise lines will charge extra for all sorts of things, including Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is included in our ticket fares. I'm sure we'll touch on that in a moment, why that's important. But nowadays, everyone wants to stay connected. Whether you're working or whether you're just at leisure, you want to stay connected. And so we include Wi-Fi in all of our fares. We include sodas, we include still and sparkling water. We don't charge extra for special dining experiences. We don't charge extra for special entertainment experiences. We include food fitness classes. And the combination of sort of those things together have really led to us being now the #1 cruise line. So people love us because of no kids. They love us because of no nickel and diming, great no stuffy formalities, unmistakable Virgin style and service. But the thing I'm most proud of, and Michael, I'm sure you'll agree, is that people book us for the first time for all those sort of very tangible reasons, but they rebook at record rates. We have the highest rebooking rate in the industry because of our crew. The #1 reason people rebook us is our crew, because they love the kind of service we have on board. They love the kind of people we have on board our ship. So we work very hard, invest a lot in our crew and our culture, because it's very much how Virgin thinks about life. We always say if we can treat our people well, then we know our customers will be happy and our business will thrive on the other side of that. And so I know Michael's on board, and I'm sure he would testament to the professionalism, but also the authenticity of our crew and the incredible job they do.
That's amazing. It feels like a very on brand for Virgin to kind of rethink experiences and kind of think things differently around the experience. I love the idea of it's more thought of as a floating high-end hotel than a classic cruise. You mentioned the Wi-Fi there. I mean, that's the key thing that kind of brings us into this conversation, which is you're pulling different calibers of people to cruising, and some of those people are going to be still wanting to work, do a bit of work while they're there, maybe leisure stuff on the internet as well. So internet connectivity on the cruise, I mean, that's a challenging technical thing. So how have you got to this kind of high standard of experience?
Yeah, look, Michael's actually one of these kinds of people. He likes to, he's working while he's on holiday sometimes. So it's a great thing. And I'll Michael chime in a moment. But so first of all, when we designed this experience, we built the experience from the crew experience up. And so the first thing we did was that we wanted to make sure that we treated our crew well. And one thing we saw was that crew don't get free Wi-Fi on cruise ships. And so we wanted to build an experience that could allow our crew to have free Wi-Fi. So it's one of the reasons why our crew are so happy, I believe, is because they get free Wi-Fi with us. They get free coffees and teas, they get sodas, they get treated like humans should be treated, because I believe Wi-Fi is a basic human right at this point in time. So
I certainly can't imagine living for days or weeks without it.
Exactly. So that was how we started. And then we said, well, if our crew are getting Wi-Fi, then our passengers will get Wi-Fi too. So we got to work on creating the right kind of technology platform that will allow us to offer unlimited free Wi-Fi to our crew and our passengers. We did it originally through SES and through more satellite type stuff, but now with Starlink up and running, we have it across our ships with Starlink now. So we're able to offer high quality streaming, WhatsApp, other sorts of iMessage and those things, Zoom calls, which I think Michael is equivalent on the Zoom call now, so everyone to access. But it's a core part of who we are. I'm very proud that we're able to do it, very proud that we're able to offer it to our crew, and proud that we get people like Michael to come on board. Michael, you've been working, I think, since you came on board, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's become an interesting thing amongst people I know, and they're like, yeah, you're going on another cruise again. But for me, especially being in the location that I live in, it's really that just disconnect to be able to be inspired, go and sit on a cruise in the morning. I'm up, I'm in my cabin, I'm working, the internet is great. As Nirmal said, the people are amazing. You're treated like royalty, and it's no matter who you are, and people love working here, and it's from the bottom up. I know when I've been on a cruise with Nirmal before, he's almost incognito and working in the trenches himself. So it's amazing. I'm able to work all day uninterrupted, with my meals delivered to my room. There's free room service as well. You can eat as much as you like in your room, no additional charge. You can then, work the afternoon, go for a great dinner, go to a show, spend time in the casino if you like, and then just rinse and repeat, and maybe even stop on an island and enjoy some crystal clear water. So for me, it's changed the way that I've been able to work. COVID locked you in your house. The moves ahead from COVID of remote work has now enabled you to not only work from home, but work from anywhere. And that's where we get to, I predominantly work on Teams, which is, where Tom and I spend a lot of time in. But you can see I'm on an internet call on Wi-Fi here, free Wi-Fi at the sea, and I specifically arranged it so I wasn't near the land, so I couldn't cheat. But I'm literally at sea now for another 24 hours.
It's fascinating what Michael talked about. Richard is an incredible person to work for, and I would say Richard always tends to see these trends a bit further in advance. And about, when we said we were going to do free Wi-Fi, obviously he was very happy about that. And about 2 or so years ago, maybe 2, 3 years ago, he started pushing us to create a work from C package. So essentially saying, look, I know that a lot of people nowadays, they can work from anywhere. There's a lot of remote working. People have lots of flexibility, but also people are always juggling life and work. And to some extent, that whole thing is just sort of everything is merged now. We are half an hour we're doing something for our personal lives. The next half an hour we're doing something for work, right? And that's sort of just how we live our lives now. And he kept pushing us to say we should create ways for people to come basically live on our ships for a month at a time or longer if they want. And we were a bit skeptical at the beginning, where we said, okay, we'll give it a go. And we launched something called Work from Sea, which was basically like a monthly pass that you could buy. And we launched it in the Mediterranean 2 years ago for the first time. And I was amazed. It sold out in no time. And so you could essentially buy 1 month on the ship. And then as part of that package, you got access, obviously, to the Wi-Fi, which you get anyway, but we gave you some upgraded Wi-Fi to guarantee your access. We gave you coffees and teas. We gave you free laundry, a few things that if you were actually living and working away from home, what you would need. It's amazing how much people want coffee. It was the number one benefit people wanted was an espresso or a latte in the morning. But that sold out in no time. And we actually then went and created an annual pass where you could actually buy 1 year on a Virgin Voyage ship. Wow. And you could come work from the ship. And this is the amazing thing about Richard, is that sometimes we're a bit skeptical of some of the ideas he has, but he's always ahead of the curve. And he was right. We approached it with a bit of skepticism. We didn't have enough volume, and we had to increase the number of packages we had available because they sold out so quickly. But it's just the way people live their lives now. Michael's a great example of that, right? People are always looking to take advantage of remote flexibility. We're also connected now with tools like Teams and Google Meets and other things like that. It's an incredible way to work now. And so I'm just really happy we're able to offer it.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear how that has caught on. I've read other articles kind of about nomadic working and people kind of working cruises and travel into their work. And as you say, it's been unlocked by a lot of the technology. The fact that you can incredibly get your work done, or even if you're just on a pleasure cruise and you need to, for some people, it's easier to jump in and do an hour's work than to leave it all behind for 2 weeks and have a better experience. So that flexibility of, as you said, that's kind of our lives now, is a little bit in, a little bit out. Knowing you're not cut off is a really big difference, I think.
Yeah, and I think, look, you and Michael are probably more the experts on this, but I also think, going through COVID, it sort of changed the way we worked, where we all got more comfortable working in environments like Teams and other things like that, where we got, useful, we got trained to be productive in those environments. And so I think that coupled with the idea that now Wi-Fi is just so ubiquitous, and now on our ship it is ubiquitous as well. Put those two things together and you've got a really powerful combination where work from sea becomes something that's very real and very popular.
That's awesome. If people listening in are inspired by this conversation, about what can they do to find out more about that work from sea or your voyages?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, check out virginvoyages.com. Talk to a travel advisor. We're sold through a lot of travel advisors now. Give us a call. We'll tell you all about our packages. They're available in the Mediterranean next year. They're available as an annual pass. And we ask people to take advantage of that, because there's nothing more wonderful than what Michael said. Getting up in the morning, going exploring a port, and then maybe working in the afternoon. If you're working US hours in particular, that Mediterranean package was just phenomenal for people. They used to love being able to wake up, spend some time in a port, get their free coffee, obviously, because that's very important to people, and then work the US day in the evening.
Awesome. Well, Namal, thanks so much for taking the time to jump on the podcast. I know you're super busy. Really interesting to hear the journey story and the insight behind Virgin Voyages. And it sounds like an amazing experience. I'm now going to turn over to Michael to really put this internet to the limits, and we're going to have a little tour of the ship and talk about how he works from the ship while he's on the cruises. Perfect. Well, enjoy. Nice to meet you, Tom.
Thank you.
Michael, enjoy your cruise. Take advantage of the Wi-Fi. And make sure you behave yourself, please.
Always. Thanks, Normal.
Thanks, all. So, Michael, you're now switched over to your mobile, still on the ship Wi-Fi. So let's see how far we can push it and have a little bit of a tour.
So let me go outside first. Now, forgive me, you're in my cabin. So if you see, maybe if you catch a glimpse of an unmade bed, that's just because I've been working and I haven't let the people in yet. But if I go simply outside here now, you can see I'm literally on my balcony.
Amazing.
In the middle of nowhere.
Beautiful.
And here we have a a hammock where I can chill out if I want to do some work. But
in the
you can
Virgin
see
branded colours, obviously, as well.
absolutely, and it's awesome. Like the horizon is endless here. We're somewhere in the Caribbean. I think we're near the Dominican Republic or past the Dominican Republic or something of that nature. But here, so now we're going to make a move. My glasses got a little bit tinted, but I'm going to go and also what's cool is everything is controlled by this thing, which is your wristband. So you don't have to carry any cards or stuff. You just tap your wristband wherever you go and you can go. So I'm going to turn my video around a little bit. And I am walking now in a passage. Let's see if I can turn this around. No, it doesn't work. I'll walk backwards a little bit, but
yeah, I don't think it lets you live switch the camera, actually.
No, so I'll have to. So fortunately, I'm near the top floor. But if I go over here, and I'm going up some stairs, let's just see. I've got to go one more up, and then I will show you. You'll see my glasses are going to get dark again, and here we go.
And when you're doing Teams calls from the ship, do you like typically call out? You might have different connectivity because you're on the ship, or do you just tend to just give it a go and mostly it stays stable?
It's generally very stable. I find sometimes, like here, you can see I'm out on a top deck where we're,
awesome.
You can come and chill over here on a lounge or somewhere. They've got these cool little things that you can lie on, again, at sea. And you can come get a drink at the bar. But typically, it's really good. Like a day like today, maybe occasionally might be an issue because you're at sea and everyone's on Wi-Fi, but port days is perfect because everyone's out at the port. So, yeah, this is really cool. I'll go a little bit further here.
It's amazing that, like you think of the concurrency of bandwidth, because when it's like, when people have got that level of bandwidth, they're all going to be streaming and doing video calls and different bits and pieces. So it's a testament to the connectivity.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else is very cool here. I'm going to show you what's nice on this boat is they're very tuned to fitness as well. So even though you're coming out and you're a lot of us have become more fitness forward as well. So here you can go to, they have a track where you can walk, but also I'm going to just hustle along the deck here. You can see there's a pool here as well where everyone is chilling out. But if I'm walking on the deck, and just by the way, this is like the Florida weather, which is right near us. It's winter and I'm wearing short sleeves. I'm outside. The weather is awesome. But let me show you what's really cool here, because they're so fitness forward. They even have like a little boxing ring. So if you want to do some boxing, you can do some boxing. They've got all sorts of different exercises and stuff. And it's not a huge ship. So getting from place to place is relatively quickly. So here we go. I don't know if you can see that. A little boxing ring.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Again, all Virgin branded. Love it.
Yeah. And you have also these little rooms that you can chill out in as well. So if you wanted like a private little room or a little cabana, you can chill out by the cabana. Let me actually go the other way. I just saw someone trying to punch the bag. Must have had a rough night. And yeah, it's really, really beautiful. The weather's amazing. But also they have... Here, I think the doors are just all automatic. I don't have to reach out. But I'm on the wrong floor. That's why I can't find where I'm going. We go down this one. So you have, sorry. So there's a full-on gym in here as well. You can see here where people are really active over here working out. And then they have everything, like even they have a galley where you can have sushi and all sorts of food and great stuff. So and we've pushed this Wi-Fi. I've been
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
the ship.
that's really impressive. I'm
So you can see
pulling
and-
it back to pneumatics as we close out, because we have to mention it. Like, if you're doing your Teams calls out in the middle of the ocean, obviously it's Teams, so still compliance recorded wherever
recording
you
it.
are.
Absolutely, wherever you are, compliance recorded. I always get a check-in from my team. Like this morning, I was talking to our security engineer. They can see where I am because of our Intune. The guy was like, "Oh, so where are you now?" so he can spot that I'm out somewhere. But yet, if I need to record a call, I need to get on a call, use any of our features. The calls are still encrypted. There's no degradation in service. Still the same old compliance service. So you can literally, a broker can sit in their cabin and do a few transactions, and they're good as long as they have all their VPNs, which I'm sure they do, and they're connected. And I'm speaking through VPNs as well now, so I'm protecting all my traffic is encrypted, and yet it's still everything is working perfectly.
Amazing. Well, thanks for giving us a tour of the ship. It's an amazing story to see how far you can push Teams and how good the technology is on those Virgin cruises. And for everybody else, if you've got a better story than a Teams conversation from a ship, let us know, because we were always looking to push the boundaries, but this one's worked out really well. So thanks, Michael, for setting it up.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'm going to stop walking now and recover my my energy and go and have a coffee. One of those good coffees you spoke about. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and the coffee's good, really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And for everybody else, stay tuned for another one soon.